peeps! Welcome to February 2026 Paper Pumpkin Unboxing. This is the most recent kit that we got. I think I just got it a couple days ago. The January kit was the one that had the Valentine stuff in it. This one is planning for Easter. And it's planning well in advance because you know Easter. Could be March, could be April. This year it's April. I want to say like the 5th or 6th or 7th or something like that. But so they're nice and early on this one. So we're going to do this because I think for some of you, if you need some Easter stuff, these are adorable. I did peek. I took out the... I knocked the thing on the floor. I took out the tissue paper as I usually do. I'd love to tell you what color the spot is, but I dropped it on the floor and I can't see it. There we go. So yeah, I was taking the tissue paper out in preparation for getting ready. And I just remembered I need to grab something else. And I saw the cards and they're pretty cute. Now I will know on the 20th or 21st. I should probably know on Friday. Ooh. Hopefully I know on Friday. That's perfect timing because that's when the order is going in with the free shipping. It's free shipping right now. I should know if it's going to be if there's going to be refills or full kits in for sale after the fact, because you'll want to be able to get those, and then you'll get them in lots of time for Easter. I'm looking at like a foot of snow outside, so I guess I'm thinking it's Christmas time again. It is not. So yeah, this is the February kit. It is called Celebrate Spring. If I could free it from its packaging. There we go. It is Celebrate Spring. And look at these little springy colors. I'm not generally a pastel fan. I like my big, bright, bold, regal colors, but I do think these are very springy colors, and they're very cute. So let's see. We have our stamp set. Oh, look at that. That might actually work. Let me just see what we got going here. That's the one that tells. I just got to find the side of the instructions that actually says what goes with what card and give myself a fighting chance. So this is the stamp set. Let me just fold it in half so it's easier to manhandle. Hello, friend. Sweet spring greetings and happy Easter. Got ourselves a little grass, which is fun. It could also make a great hairdo on a big thing. Couple little eggs on the Clement. Coming back to my German, I realized I just said that with a German accent. We have some sequins, adhesive sequins, and they appear to be iridescent. One's kind of yellowy, one's kind of clearish, but they're both iridescent. We got some, what did I say, dimensionals and glue dots. We have some, I'm going to say pretty in pink. Where's the back of the package? Pretty in pink monoroll. Twine, a little bit of that. We have some envelopes. I think all the envelopes are the same. Yes. So they have this cute little printed flap there. And then 3 of 3, I think, is what we got going for cards. So card base number 1. Card base number 1 is a landscape card. Just a minute. I was looking at it thinking it looks like it could go various different directions, but I like to, I've got a system now when I do these to show you what's in them. I like to make my bases and fold them, give them a nice little burnish so I can put them down so I can put the stuff on top of them. So this one is landscape. This one I can tell goes this way because the flowers are growing this way. Adorable little flowers. And I really do. I never used to. I was like, bone folder. I can just use my fingernail. It really does make a difference with the bone folder to get them to lay nice and flat. Okay, so we got 3 of those. Move those off to the side. And move all the little bits and pieces because I haven't got there yet. Oh, these ones are very plain. That's okay because I'm pretty sure that's what those go on. Those you can't really see. But let's just... Well, and the good part about this is that means I can make them landscape. Or... well, maybe not. Not the way the... Nope, now that I can see the thing. Those are portrait as well. I can see by what I can see. Okay, so these are the little things that go in here. So it doesn't matter that the base itself is not printed. There's a printed layer for it. And then we have There's way more than 3 layers here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so we appear to have extras, unless I'm missing something. Let me just see what goes where. Big banner. Big banner goes on this card. Little leaves. Oh, no, this is on purpose. I think you're going to have some extra pieces, but some of them are not extra pieces. Because this one says it needs 4 of the little tree things, and there's only 3 on a sheet. So you're borrowing 1 from the other one. So the 4 sheet is to give you enough leaves, which we'll see when we make it. Maybe you only need 3. What else do we need? We need some eggs. Eggs go on this one. Where does this little tag go? This little tag goes on this one. It's actually just like the half a tag. And then the square goes on that one. So I have 1 extra egg sitting there. Oh, we'll see. I don't think I need those. We'll see what happens. And then, oh my goodness, look at these big bad boys. So how about that for a sheet of die cuts? There is some big stuff there. Look at this bunny. Is so adorable. Oh, which reminds me. I will show you something else. So that one's got the big bunny. It also has this looks it's I was gonna say deceiving. Just making up words now. It's deceiving. So we have this nice big wreath that he's popping out of. These little flowers go with this one. We're gonna have just so much stuff popping out of this basket. Plus these little flowers. Plus the basket. I love when they do. Look at all this die cutting, just making it easier. That's a pretty good sized basket. That's my hand. That's a pretty good sized basket. And these little flowers, little adorable guys, go with the leaves over on the other one. And there's 3 of them, I think. Yes. See, there's 3 and 4. 4 sets of leaves, 3 flowers. So we'll see how that times out. That makes an odd number, right? So that's nice. And then this big pile of eggs goes there. So, sorry, all of a sudden I have an itchy nose. Well, let's just go with this guy first. So let's see what we need to do. I have to put the card going in the right direction so I can see what it is I'm doing, because I didn't actually look close enough at the picture. Okay, so they give you glue dots to glue dot this down, but Tracey. Oh, did I forget to mention Shy Shamrock is the ink spot, which is one of the retiring in colors. That means that when the new catalog comes out, and I think we might be in for a little bit of a catalog change too, but I will find some stuff out in Cologne when I go in a couple weeks for On Stage, and for the Grand Tour, as I'm calling it, my son's 18th birthday trip. But that's when we usually find out the new in colors. I get very excited about in colors. I know some things are changing. I hope in colors don't change. And the sales model for in colors makes me think they won't. But I get so excited about the new colors and guessing what they are and what do they look like and where do they go with. I just like totally nerd out over in colors. But anyways, I digress. When the new catalog comes out in May, that is when there is generally the new in colors. So leading up to that, you know that the 5 in colors that are 2 years old. So what year are we in right now? 26. So the 24, 26 ones will be retiring. So stuff's going to start to sell out on the in colors. So we have Summer Splash, Shy Shamrock, Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink. I think Pretty in Pink is that one. And Peach, something Peach. Can't remember the Peach one. I'm looking at my ink pads to cheat. Peach Pie. Yes, Peach Pie. Pretty in Pink and Peach Pie. All those things are going to start selling out. The ink goes first, cardstock, anything with any of the DSP or any paper packs or anything that have any of the in colors in them, those will all be retired. They all go away. So what is it? February, March, April. So in April, they'll all go on the last chance list. But some of it will sell out before then, because as soon as people start realizing it's about to sell out, they start stocking up. If you have a favorite color in there, and I usually get rid of all my in color stuff and like start fresh. I started doing that. There's only one in color where I'm like, oh, I wish I had kept that. But every now and again they do like a color refresh, and sometimes they bring them back. So I'm just hoping they bring that one back. Just because, yeah, it definitely had its place. Okay, so sorry, I'm just putting dimensionals on things as I talk and ramble. This bunny, that's, see, I keep, seriously, my brain is slightly in holiday mode. It's in holiday planning mode, but it's still technically a holiday mode. Basically, what I'm saying is, it is not so much on the whole, what are you doing right now in crafting? It's sort of in its own little world over here. Okay, so those things. I keep meaning to tell you that this set coordinates with the Easter basket bundle. So you see this adorable bunny. He's like these two bunnies. And I bought this set because I love these bunnies. Because I have a great Easter set that I've had for years that I keep hoarding. Love, 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 love those bunnies. And look at the little chick. Come on. I also like that it just has this like really basic Happy Easter on it. But it also has this great set of dies. So the one I've been hoarding makes this tiny little basket. But this one, the dies make a good sized basket. And this is, so these little slits, I made one of them. I just can't remember where it is. Did I maybe stick it in the middle? Let me see if I have a bunch of die cut stuff jammed down the middle here, which is where I usually would put it. Did I use it all? I don't know. Anyways, it has little slits in it, and then these make the strips, and so you can weave the strips through the basket, and it looks like it's an awesome die. Plus, you can cut all the images out and make yourself some, not tulips. What's the Cancer? Daffodils. The May is daffodil month for raise money for cancer. Daffodils. You got some grass. You got little ruffles. You got an adorable little bow. So, anyways, it coordinates with that. So, if you want to stretch it or change it, or if you just love it so much and wish you had more, boom, Easter basket. Okay. Now let's try to focus. Best of luck. So here's the thing. This basket goes here. What do I do with the stamps? Just a minute. Whoops. This one goes here. So I can use this Happy Easter, which seems kind of, personally, it seems a little small. Or, I think you could switch it out if you really wanted to. And do this Happy Easter. Oh, yeah, see? Happy Easter. That would work too. But I'm just trying to show you what's in the kit, so I really should focus. I'm going to move that off to the side so I quit grabbing it. And put this little Happy Easter on so we can stamp. Now, again, I know I've said this before, but just in case it's your first time noticing, photopolymer, when you pull them off the little sticky sheet, it's easy to kind of pull them and stretch them and stuff. So if you just drop them, oops, sorry, I just realized I'm a little too low. No, I don't have a single clean piece of paper in my office. Thanks for asking. No, I'm serious. I do. So if you just kind of drop them down so they're not sticky, they will sort of take their natural shape, and then you can pick them up that way. And then if you need to, like this one appears to be, is it? It appears to be like meant to be curvy. But here's the other thing you can do, because we have this label, and I'm going to put the Happy Easter on it. Photopolymer stamps are easy to manipulate. So if I want the Happy high and the Easter lower, so that I'm kind of like following, then I can just do that. So I'm going to put it roughly where I think it is. And then if I want to turn up the R just the tiniest bit at the end, so it looks like it's kind of following back. But I can see through. So now I've got my Happy Easter on my block following the same curve of the stamp. Sorry, I do it all the time, and then I'm going to put the white down so you can actually see, I know, I put a white label on the white mat and you can't see squat. So I need some ink. I don't like to fight with the packaging, so we just use the big ink pad. Gotta use it before it retires. What do I do with my paper? There it is. So because I haven't used this stamp set before, I'm going to give it the little smudge to get it, make sure I didn't move it too much. Now remember there's ink on it now, so don't just drop it. Oh, that's fine. So I'm going to, and that just gets like any kind of film or any residue from the manufacturing off, and then you get a better stamp. Happy Easter! So that one's going to go over there. And where does this go? This goes, okay, this one we're going to show you the other trick because it makes life easier. Okay, so what we're going to do, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I didn't put, so you know that extra egg that was on the sheet? I said there's one egg left? Yeah, we actually need that one egg left. We need this one. And I'm just going to look at something on that thing here. So they gave you 2 eggs that you could stamp. Well, aren't they the smartest? Because those 2 egg stamps are the same size as the eggs, so you can make patterns on them. So I'm going to do the same thing again because we haven't used this one either. So I'm going to pick up my egg, give it a little ink, give it a little twist. And then, thankfully, they're photopolymer. So I could just dunk, and we got ourselves a decorated egg. If only they were all that easy. That one's going to have dimensionals too, but we're going to do that afterwards because I'll show you why. Okay, so now that I put all those dimensionals on the back of this, so I didn't want my wreath to sag, so there's a lot of dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to yes, there is an up and down on this. You can kind of tell which way the flowers are growing. So we're going to pop this guy in the middle. Maybe center. You know, what the heck. Live on the edge. You can kind of tell because your flowers go end to end here. Oops, I'm a little low again. I apologize. Your flowers go side to side on the mat. So you kind of want to base on, and then top and bottom you got about the same clearance. So we're going to put him down. Next, this dude is adorable. And what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that he is standing up from the banner. So wherever you're going to put your banner, and there's no sticky or anything on my banner yet, so I can always adjust it. And I guess it makes sense. If you leave a gap, then there's going to be, then you're going to have to put your bunny super low. Here, just a minute. Just a minute. If you leave a gap here, you have to put your bunny super low to fill it in. Otherwise, it'll be like you have, like, it won't make sense. So I think you want the Happy Easter. You want your banner to cover so there's no gap. We're going to put it on after. And then we're going to pop him out. So he can go wherever you want. Now he's got an egg that you can put in his hand. So, actually I'm going to go sideways and put it the other way. They have theirs, the bunny's going this way with the egg, which looks off to me. I'm going this way. So I'm putting my bunny there. So now that I know where he's going, where'd my dimensionals go? I can put my dimensionals in the space, like directly on the card, instead of trying to guess where on here to put them, because I don't want them up on here. I just want them in the middle part. Now my bunny has dimensionals here, or no, sorry, there they are, on his head and on his ear. There's one there too, but that's fine. So I can put a dimensional on him because it's just going to push down. It's not going to stand up because it's there's not a dimensional underneath it. And then I can put my little banner back on again. Now same with the Easter egg. There we go, because that's holding him down. Same with the Easter egg. I'm going to put the Easter egg up here, so I shall lay it down. So at least it looks, if I put it over his hand, at least it looks like he's holding it. The one behind his back, that seemed a little odd. So now, I'm going to put my dimensionals right by his hand. So this just saves, I mean, I guess on the egg, you'd put them on the egg. Anyways, it wouldn't have mattered because you're not going to hit anything. But because you want to make sure that you're clearing all the things so you don't end up having way too many layers too high up. So there, now he's holding an Easter egg. So I did mine opposite to the way they did theirs. Now, I was going to say, seriously, it's been how many minutes? And I've buried the twine, but I found it. And we're going to make ourselves, and it tells you in here how much twine to use. You don't have a ton of twine, so you definitely don't want to use more than necessary. Get my I'm just cutting a tiny piece. I don't even know what the thing says. Because we're just going to put a bow on his neck. Because his neck seems a little bare. Now this is a pink bow. But we have lots of different colors of twine. So if you want a different colored twine, you want them dressed formally, put them in the black twine. Oops, I made the bow way too big. Oops, there we go. Yeah, so even that little piece I cut was more than I needed. We're just gonna... I'm gonna fuss with it until I can get the two ends, or the two loops, somewhat the same. And then the little glue dots that they gave you. And we're just gonna roll one up. Seriously, every time I say that, I think of Diane and her prim little British accent and roll it like a booger. And I'll just do that. Oh, so I'm using my glue dots, just the ones that I have that are easier to grab. But apparently I wasn't finished whatever I was doing because I left one of the leaves stuck to the glue dot roll. Okay, so I just put a little rolled up guy there, and then we can just set the bow into the little rolled up glue dot. And we have our cute little card. Look at how adorable that is. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. Holy cow. Okay, so on the instructions, listen, I'll show you just in case you haven't actually noticed them before. On the instructions, I'm cheating and looking at the instruction. I guess it's not cheating, that's what they're for, but I usually don't look, I just wing it. But so it tells you, and I don't always follow what they tell me to do. Like this said use glue dots. I didn't. I used dimensionals because that's what I want to do. I put it where I wanted to. Whatever. So it shows you the little bow, and up here the bow it says cut a 7-inch piece. Yeah, I didn't cut anywhere near a 7-inch piece. But down here it will show you, you get 3 of the dark sequins and 2 of the light sequins are designated for this card. Now, this card has 4 and 2. I'm not putting 6 of anything unless it was like centers of something, but it's not, so no. So you don't have to follow, but it does tell you, and it gives you the idea of how many you have. So if you think 5 is excessive, don't put 5 on, just put 3 on, and then you have 2 for making extra projects. I did forget to grab the dies, but I can show you that this is the die set that comes for the January, February, March. So you get the postal label, which was to coordinate with the January kit. You get the tulips that coordinate with this kit, and then the beautiful is for the March kit. So if you have the dies, or even if you don't, and you have the other set, or you just have leftover pieces or whatever, you can usually extend your stuff and make more. What was I doing? Yeah, this banner is a little big. I see they put some of their little things on the banner, and I can kind of see that because the banner is kind of big. I'm just going to put one down there. So 2 on the bottom, oops. I just thought I had it. I'll just put one up there at the top. Oh, look at that. I don't know that I need 5, frankly. Okay. Card numero uno. Take this other one that I got set in the middle of stuff all over it. Okay, so this one, I'm obviously going to use this Sweet Spring Greetings. Now, if you knew somebody who had a springy birthday, this would make a great card for them too. You could just change out the sentiment. Sweet birthday greetings, or just happy birthday. Just use a different stamp altogether. Okay, so this one, we're going to stamp on here and pop it up and then put all our foliage around. There's my thing. So this one we are using, we're just going to use the one that's in there. Sweet Spring Greetings. And I like to do this. Sometimes I forget, and if I'm just crafting generally, it doesn't matter as much because I can always cut another piece of paper or whatever. But when you're using your kits, and I showed this was one of the uses with the new stamp positioner. These labels are all like this one has little dots around the edge. It's kind of probably can't see it on the screen. They're tiny little dots. But if you want to make sure your thing is centered or straight, or you don't want to screw it up, or you want to make sure it's well inked, you got one shot at it. So you kind of want to, well, if you use a positioner, you have multiple shots. But if you're just stamping, so I like to make sure that I condition all of the stamps just in case. So yeah, let's see if we'll make it focus. Nope. But you can see there's little dots. I'm going to make this camera do what I want. One of these days. I don't understand why I can't make it focus. Anyways, there's little dots. because I'm going to flip this over in the middle of the card. I'm just going to make sure. Dark colors sometimes take a little longer to dry. Sometimes I just want to be cautious because this card's really pretty, and I'm sticking this right in them. I could have put it somewhere else, but no. We'll just dry it instead. Okay. And I'm going to pop one in the middle, because again, nobody likes the saggy label. So I like this. This works well, even if you're just doing layers. You can do, I dropped one of the things. I just cut my nails, so I have no nails to pick things up with. You can just do like a white, excuse me, a white card base and put a white layer on it, and it's just such a classy look. The white on white, and then you could, then whatever you stamp or color or die cutter, whatever, that's where you get your pops of color from. So this, we're just going to center in the middle here. Just pops it up a little bit. So what it's showing me to do is to use a glue dot and to put 2 of them there. And 2 of them there. And 2 flowers on the top and 1 on the bottom. But you know what? I'm going to save one of those off there because I like it better with a little bit less. It's just my personal taste. We're going to pop that guy there. We're going to pop that guy there. See, we're got to do something different because my flowers are covering up my leaves too much. So I think what I'm going to do, and then this one, we're doing this way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, and they tell you to use glue dots. Like I said, you do you. I'm doing me, so you do you. I'm going to put a dimensional on either corner here. And I'm going to put my leaves on this. So I got a little bit of that dimensional hanging out. And I'm going to put another one just a little bit farther up. Because otherwise, I think they're going to fold down. So I'm using dimensionals. And I'm going to pop this guy, which I just dropped on the things. I'm going to pop him up like that. So that's my little corner there. Now these guys, as soon as I figure out what I did with my clay dots. Ooh, look, a couple left. I'm going to have to do a rollout. See if we can make it through the cards. Okay, when you're doing this, pay attention because I put the glue dot on the top, but the top isn't even going to be on the card, so don't do that. Put the glue dot on the stem because the top can kind of hanging off a bit. There we go. And this one is okay because this one the flower is actually on here. I'm going to go like that. And then these guys, I'm going to put just a glue dot in the middle of each one of them. See, this is how you can do it. When you use them on the roll or even on the sheet, you just have to maneuver a little bit. You can clear up the glue dot, stick them on there, and then when you pick it up, it picks up the whole thing all at once. And we're going to put that one there. And put that one here. There we go. So now I've got my foliage sticking out the corner. Actually, and you know what? As usual, Stampin' Up! Was right. And I do need a little bit more on that corner. But because of the way I did it, I'm going to be able to just tuck this in here like this. No, that's a little too spread out, considering the other one's not that spread out. Okay, so I did put a dimensional there, and then I changed my mind. So I'm just taking my snips, and I'm finding my dimensional, and I'm just cutting it in half. So the bottom part is still stuck down. The top part I just lifted up. And now I'm just going to stick this in between. There we go. Ta-da! And then this one says I can have 6. Well, I didn't use the ones on the other one. Like I didn't use the light ones on the other one. So this one says 4 dark, 2 light. But because I didn't use the light ones on the other one, I'm just going to put some of these here. I'm going to put 5 of these on because I feel like I should. So I'm putting it as the centers in the white flowers. There's a couple white flowers on there. What did I do? 1, 2, 3. I just want some shiny bits. Oops, just a minute. Knock that other one over. And there we go. Shiny bits. Oh, that's pretty. Like that one. Okay. And finally, last but certainly not least, we have the Easter basket. Okay, so we're definitely popping up the Easter basket. I mean, I know that. I do look at the instructions on occasion, but a lot of times I just know before I even look at them. Because it just makes sense that we're going to pop up the Easter basket and put stuff behind it. Okay, so I need to, before I do that though, I need to stamp this tag, and I need to stamp this egg. Oh my goodness, I just realized what stamp they're using. That's adorable. Where's the grass? Oh, see? This is why you should look at the instructions. Because sometimes that's what I do. Like, they don't normally, like, usually if they put something in a stamp set, they'll give you choices for the sentiments. That's fairly common. And then they'll give you the eggs and the grass and that you can use to stamp the inside of the card, which I should be doing, or to stamp the envelopes and stuff if you want, or to make extra cards. But there's usually a reason for them. So pulling that off, I realized that the only stamp left on the sheet was the grass one. And it's a good thing I looked, because before I start sticking stuff to this card, you actually have to stamp some grass on it. So, and I know with paper pumpkin you get one block, but I like having as many blocks as possible going at once. So, where's my paper pumpkin? There we are. Move that out of the way for now. So we'll condition our grass while we're doing the other ones. Set that off to the side. Get our little egg. And this one, the other one had like a polka dot egg. And this one is stuck to my stamp. There we go. It's super cute. It's got lots of things going on it, but it's got this little row of adorable little flowers. It's very cute. Okay, so we have that one. And then I just will put the egg on there. And then this little half tag turns out to be just the exact size it needs to be for Hello Friend. That we're going to tie to the handle of the basket. How cute is that? The other reason I should keep the paper out, and I keep forgetting to do this, I'll do this on these ones, is it's a good idea to take as much ink as you can off your stamp before you do it, because then when you're cleaning it, you're not loading up your chamois with ink. Hello Friend. Okay, so we get our grass, which we conditioned, and according to the instructions, we want to put 3 things of grass down here. Ta-da! Look at that, filling in the card. It's adorable. Okay, let's start building her back up. Dimensionals again. It's like this, the hunt. I just had them in my hand 30 seconds ago. So let's hunt for the dimensionals again. Okay, so I do not want this to sag, but I also, before I put it on, I'm going to, oh, actually I don't have to. I was going to say I was going to wrap it around. I was going to make sure I didn't put a dimensional in the way of my string, but that takes up more string and we only have a little bit. So I think I'll actually just stick it on top and make it look like it's tied. So in that case, it doesn't matter. But you should always like put a little, just double check or a little forethought into seeing, okay, what else am I going to be? Am I tucking anything under? Like the bunny, you want to make sure, like you don't want to put a whole row of dimensionals right here if you want to try to tuck something underneath it, because they'll just be in your way. So you want to kind of give yourself, I'm staggering mine just slightly. I don't know why. I don't line them up. I think it's just because I want to give it like as much coverage as possible. And I think, I don't know, like I said, it just somehow in my brain it makes sense that if I stagger them more, it covers more area. Okay, so this is going to go down. Because I'm just figuring out what I'm doing as I go. So I have to cover up some of my pretty flowers. Okay, so this is going to go down. This goes in the back. I actually have to put that down first. I'm going to make another little bow, which, yeah, like this is, This is 4 inches. The thing says 7. Oh, on this one it says 10. So on this one, this is what's good about them telling you that though. It says 10, so they're making it longer, so they're envisioning wrapping it around the basket. But when you put the tag on, you can't actually see that it's wrapped around. So that's not an efficient use of twine. It's all about the efficient use of twine. So, oh, I totally tied that off center. So we're just going to tie our little bow. Oh, went too far. Overcorrected. The longer piece of twine, if you have trouble cutting a bow, don't do what I do and cut small pieces, because it is easier to tie a bow on a long piece and just trim off the extra. And you know that they gave you 10 inches to make this bow, so you could cut it longer. I don't have any other pink twine though, and I want to make sure I can use this pink twine for all sorts of things, so that's why I'm being cautious with the twine. Yeah, I think my bow is too small though. That and the fact that I can't seem to tie this one centered for some reason. I just keep getting it off center. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. I like to have little, like the tails, like hang down a little. And especially if you can get them, there we go, where you can get them to get that like little bit of a curl up on the end. I just think it looks cute. Okay, I got one's a little bit longer than the other one. There we go. So when I put this on here and I put this over top, like I said, it's going to look like it's tied on. You don't want it so big that it covers up the Hello Friend either, right? So that will work. And then I'm putting some flowers. And I'm putting some flowers down here, and I'm putting some flowers down there. And I don't think I'm going to put 2 flowers up there. It shows 2 flowers up there, but, you know. Kind of like 3. I don't know, 2 seems weird on the handle. Unless I do them up at the top. I'm going to do on this side to offset the thing on that. Okay, see that? Now I'm okay with that. I got to be okay with it, or I just don't do it. And then this one, so this one we're going to put on dimensionals. So none of the other stuff appears to need dimensionals. That's really what I was just trying to figure out. How many dimensionals do I need? Okay, so I'm going to put these up. I'm going to put some along the bottom here. Those ones I'm going to stick right to the handle. So first, so without knocking it everywhere, I'm looking at this to figure out where it goes. So now I know it goes like, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. Where'd my thing go? And so you've got the glue dots to do that. So put it back where you saw it. Okay. And then we're going to pop our basket down. And we're going to put everything back on now that we've figured out what we're doing. And it does, I mean, it shows you in the instructions which one gets what. It actually shows you to stamp the grass. That's why I said good idea to look. So it's showing that the basket, the egg, and 1 flower have a dimensional, and basically everything else has glue dots. But I like to do my own thing, so I like to do a dry run, or a dry fit as I usually call it, just to see if it's going to do what I want, because if not, change it and make it what you want. Okay, so I got that one. Actually, I'm going to put this one on next, because, so and here's the beautiful part. So I'm going to put a glue dot here, and if you need to put like 2 or 3 or however many you need to get the desired effect, yes, that is the end of my glue dots on that roll. Then I'm going to put this over, and I'm going to make sure that the hole in my tag is over top of the glue dot, and then I'm going to stick this through the hole into the glue dot, thereby only needing 1 glue dot, and it gives it a little popped up little look. Look at that's adorable. Okay, hello friend. Then I'm going to put the egg in just so I make sure that I don't put it in the wrong spot or cover too much up or something. So there is a little green one underneath, and if you move it over, then you got green on green. So I think I'm actually going to cover the green one, I think is what you're supposed to do, because let me see in the picture. Yeah, they covered the green one because it just, yeah, I like the popped up look, but the green one, like with, it was too much green. Okay, now I'm actually going to use the glue dots from the kit because I ran out on my roll. Not that I don't have more rolls, but let's do this. So I'm going to put one flower there, and one flower there. I don't use these very often because I haven't got the... Some people love these glue dots. They like them way better than the ones on the roll. And I'm guessing those are people with nails who have figured out the trick to getting the things off. Because I sometimes struggle. Okay, so I'm putting the little guy down first. And then I'm going to put the big guy over top, so he's kind of overlapping a little bit on that one. And then, because the big one's hanging off the bottom of the basket, that's a bit of a tongue twister, I'm going to do the same thing I did last time and just put a dimensional and kind of hang him onto the dimensional. And then these guys, we'll see if I could. I think the trick maybe is to bend them. Let's see. Because sometimes when I try to take them directly, when I try to take them directly off, I get the whole glue dot and backing. I can't figure out how to get just the backing off while they're still on the sheet. Oops, that one just stuck to my nail, so we'll just take that one. So yeah, anybody have any tips on the glue dots? Let me know. I find if you stick them to paper first, then they stick better because they're not designed to stick to the cellophane. They stick to the paper better, so then when you go to pull the backing off, the glue dot doesn't come with it. I don't remember how I had that before, but I kind of like it like that. And then this one, oh, this one doesn't get any sparklies. But look at how cute that is. Oops, I'm off screen. And I forgot I was zoomed in. There we go. Move all my stuff out of the way. So there we go. Hello, friend. Sweet season's greetings and a happy Easter. Oops, here, I'll do it like that so you can actually... I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing, but there we go. I'll get them all on screen eventually. So there we go. That is the February kits that I have already forgotten the name of. Let me find the front of the instructions. Celebrate Spring. Isn't it adorable? So yes, if you are interested in this kit, let me know. Because Friday, possibly Saturday, but I think maybe on Friday we should know if they have any extra like full kits that include the stamp set, or even if they just have the refills, so you just get all the consumable stuff. On the refills, you don't get the stamp set and you don't get the ink spot. And then so if you want to make like multiples of them, then you can do that. Friday is the last day of free shipping. I'm doing a group order at 9 in the morning. And so if the kits did come out and you wanted them, you could tell me. I could add it to the group order, pop it in there, and you wouldn't have to pay full shipping on it. Yay, free shipping. We love free shipping. All right, have a great week, everybody. Let me know if you need stuff by Friday. Thanks. Bye.